I'm supposed to own shares in a company that's worth a million or millions. I don't. I'm looking at it saying, why can't I show these things? Like, I really came up from nothing. So I'm not showing them to say I'm better than you. I wanted to be an engineer producer that is able to live like how the rappers would live without being center stage. What's actually happened is both parties have got the contract to signature. And then obviously there's one person that needs to green light the whole thing. I have nothing bad to say about him. I'm only saying what actually happened. I'm not saying, well, remember this and remember that. I'm not doing any of that because, bro, that's little bro. See, when everything's stone cold, just lies. I just feel like, bro, I'm like, who's actually believing this?
Our sponsors, for the perspective, Fireway Pizza are offering you guys 20% off using our discount code AD20. Use it today, man. Save money, be patterned. We got you. AD20, Fireway Pizza.
Good morning to Fumez. This is an early one. This interview is long overdue. Looking forward to finally sitting down, and I think we got some things that we should address and get your perspective on. The whole dynamic between Danny, Fumez, PressPlay, right? What was your involvement early on with PressPlay at the start?
At the start, we're two kids. We're both kids at these ages here. From Southampton, we both used to go like similar areas in Southampton Estate and then youth club and all of that. We've met. I've liked what he's doing. He's running his own company called Street Zone Entertainment. I've said to him like, look, like I want to get involved, and I think we should change the name from Street Zone to something more like commercial. That's where we came up with the idea of PressPlay. At that point, I was managing the company. And Danny was doing what he does best, which was liaise with the cameraman, the artist, build relationships, etc. And then I was just handling business. I started speaking to people at Kaleidoscope. I met someone very nice called Paris. She helped me get a loan out, 5 figures, which I then invested into the company. We got an office. We recruited new camera teams. First office was in Northwest, Park Grove sides, which is basically West Northwest. And then, I was there for a few years, and that was kind of the start.
So from the start, when you got involved, what else did you think needed to be changed? Was it strategy, other stuff you got involved in because you got a loan, you've helped out, so were you trying to help him to like make it more of a business?
Again, at these ages, I don't know a lot. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just a brother that's trying. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've seen him doing well, and credit to him, he's doing well on his own, 100%. And I've just tried to add a little to take it a bit further, but I don't know a bit further where. Those times, music's early doors, you know, like I think SBTV just came out. So it wasn't a thing where like everyone had this big dream and goal. It was just a thing of, we were just two guys from the hood just trying to see what can work. So there wasn't, I don't want to sit here and lie and say, man, I had a mad strategy at 15 or something. I didn't.
Yeah. Ultimately, so how long were you guys working in that capacity before you ended up like leaving? And why did you end up leaving at that point?
I don't know how many years we actually done, you know. Probably question better asked to him. Like off the top of my head with zero recollection, I'll probably go somewhere around 5 years before I left. And then, what did you ask? Why did I leave?
Yeah, why did you leave?
Do you know what? I kind of look inwards, and again, I say, remember, I'm young at these times. I'm 14, 15, I believe. So what's happened is 5 years down the line when I'm leaving, so I've got out the loans like 18, and then I've left like a year or two after I've got out the loans. So what's gone on is from I've got out these loans now, it's like I've got expenses to pay. Remember, I'm a teenager now, but I'm still fresh. I don't know what's what. So when I've got out these loans and that, it's in my government name, coming from my government bank account. There's no company, there's no company's house, there's no tax returns, none of these things are patterned, there's no accountant or none of these business things that should be patterned. So I've taken out a loan, the money's going straight into my account, coming out of my account, and it's gotten to the point where I'm trying to balance it now. And remember, we've got new staff now as well. So we've got Caleb Dennison, amazing cameraman, went on to work with Stormzy, and done great videos with a lot of the hottest artists in the UK scene, no fire. And then you just have to look at it, and at some point I couldn't manage as a young person that was basically a kid I couldn't motivate, is the right word, 2 kids at the same time that were cool with working, but they were also cool with being in the office and just playing Call of Duty or FIFA. And when I'm trying to like knuckle down and I've taken out loans and I've put that all on my back, no one's asked me to do any of these things. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm saying, look, I want to go for it and be serious and try and make something off this now. I'm seeing SBTV, he's popped off. We're 4 or 5 years down the line. Like, I'm saying, yo, there's something here to be done now. I've seen a blueprint, so let's kind of attack it. And obviously it's hard because I'm 18, 19, and I've got 2 kids that might be 14, 15, maybe 16 that I'm working with. And yeah, I couldn't find a way to motivate them and get them on the same motivation and the hunger that I wanted. So we had to kind of cut ties once it became like financially it stopped making sense. I'm losing money. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the loan has dried up and I'm spending bank account money now, like private savings and whatever else. Do you know what I'm saying?
Did you end up were you paid out when you left, or how did that
Yeah,
work?
so the whole how I left is I said to Danny, look, like, you guys don't really want to get up and go. But I'm not saying he didn't want to do a lot, but it's just the way that I wanted to move, like the speed and the aggression I wanted to attack the market with and the industry with. He just had his own pace of doing things, which he got things done, but just in his own pace. And I couldn't work like that at the time. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was like, bro, it needs to be like this. And he said, well, it kind of just is what it is. So I said, all right, cool, bro. Like, I've invested a lot of money into this. I've had to take out loans, whatever. Pay me back what I've had to pay. And I'll just leave it. Do you get what I'm saying? And he said, yeah, no problem, cool. Bearing in mind, we're 19 and 16 and these things. And I said to him, bro, like, I'm not asking for the money right now. It's not a pressure thing. Like, give me 3 years, give me the money, whatever. He said to me, yeah, no stress. I think like 5 years went by and this guy just stopped answering all phone calls, no communication, nothing. Then we got into a whole little, yeah, I'm saying I got the money back. And then, yeah.
And then the Fumez brand, like, so you then started to work with Link Up for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
How did that come together? And yeah, tell us a bit about that part.
Obviously, so my mentor, the guy that got me involved in music originally, his name's Ren. And now he's involved in my other businesses, yeah. But at the start, he also mentored SBTV. And then from that, he played a big role in Link Up TV because he had all the youth clubs. So what we'd do is we'd get all the artists that were doing behind bars in the early days, those were filmed in the youth club. Do you get what I'm saying? So he'd tell everyone come to the youth club, and that's where I ended up working with a lot of these artists as well, because then I became the engineer for behind bars. And that's how it was introduced, do you get what I'm saying? And then, yeah, he kind of connected the dots. And then from there, we built our own relationship. Me and Joey became very close over like a 2-year period. And then me and Rashid always stay in touch.
But the whole brand, because obviously your background's engineering, but then what sparked you to think, I actually now need to be more visible, more for people to recognize you in the public?
Oh, like it was a night, a GRM event, big up GRM, like they were doing the rated awards these times, and me, Rashid, Joey was outside the club, and long story short, we're struggling to get in. Like we was gonna get in because Rashid and Posty are very good friends, so we was always gonna get in, but it was like the security just weren't in no rush to let man in, and obviously there's acts and performances going on that I think Rashid even wanted to get some BTS for, so he's like, yo, I need to be in there now. And he's trying to say, look, like it's me, Rashid, the owner of Link Up, and this is Joey Link Up, and he's like, and that's Fumez, and he's like, no one knows your face. And then he turned back, and I was like, oh, okay, I see, okay. So now I need to put a face to the name, because I done it like I built the name and no one knew I had a face. You get what I'm saying? It's just all you heard at the end of certain songs was Fumez The Engineer. There was nothing else. I was never in any videos. I wasn't big on social media these times. I always kept myself to myself.
And then you stayed at Link Up for a little while, but then you ended up leaving. So what caused that about? What caused that to come about? Yeah. Or moving on, should I say?
Like, I wanted to do more. Like, Link Up was a great platform, and at the time I think they was the biggest. And I wanted to do more, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted a bigger role, like in Link Up, or just doing more. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't feel like I was living up to my potential there. So Tangles hit me up and said, yo, bro, like they're not sharing the same energy for you as we would over here. And we think, true, you started with PressPlay, you should come and finish what you started, bro. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's made man an offer. Originally, he said, look, we don't even want plugged in. They even turned it down. They said, we don't want plugged in. Keep that on link up. We only want studio with Fumez. The agreement was I keep everything, and they just benefit off the growth of the platform. And that made sense to all parties, and that's what they suggested to me. And I just said, all right, cool. Then obviously, plugged in's popped in ways that no one knew it was. I didn't know it was going to do that. I hoped and prayed, but I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So I caught a lucky break there, which was a blessing. And then Danny's come back to me and said, bro, the money it's making, like, obviously I'm not saying that we deserve or whatever, but can we break bread? And I've looked at it and I said, yeah, bro, of course, like, you've given me a platform that man needed at the time, and I love that man's needed to grow this whole thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So naturally, of course, we can break a bread. So he said to me, cool, it's making this. And I basically said to him, cool, like, keep like 15 grand and invest 5 into video so you can compete with the GRMs and these times, the thing that was in fashion that GRM started when they were bullying all the other channels, they were buying videos from artists. Not the song, just the video. Do you remember those days?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So there was days where we would have videos as PressPlay, and then the artist would phone us like, bro, GRM just offered us 3 bags for the video, so it's going on GRM. So I'm saying to Danny now, boom, now that we're making some money, hold an extra 5. So I said to him, you can keep 10 of my money. Overall, I think there wasn't more than like 5 plugins that he actually came to. Like the artist can vouch. Like a lot of them didn't see Danny. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it was just my camera team. So he was just behind the scenes, and it got to the point where my camera team were basically dealing with everything apart from the upload. All he had to do was just bam. At the start, he helped me with Zone 2. He got them all on his own. Cillian, all of those artists, like he turbocharged like the first 4 releases. And then after that, he played like a silent push. And that was just the platform.
I mean, you don't say specific numbers, but roughly, what is the numbers that you saw coming in that he showed you that made him think, can we change
Do you know what it is, yeah? I can't remember, like, I don't have a picture of this exactly, but I think he told me, he never showed me anything. I've never seen any statement from PressPlay. But what he told me along the lines of it was making 30, 40 grand a month off like ads or whatever. So I'm like, rah, like, didn't know all of that. But at that time, the Muse have come and signed me for my first deal. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm like, rah, like, I just got signed. Danny's come to me, asked for some bread as well. I'm like, we can all eat, bro. Even though our agreement wasn't that, verbally. So now we've had a conversation, we've changed the agreement. I'm cool with it. I've said to him, before we come to an agreement, I've said, you know what, bro, like, if we're putting it in writing, I want to be a shareholder in the company because I feel like I'm bringing more to the company than just plugged in. I bought my camera team, which you're now using to send out on other music videos, and that the contracts that my lawyers are sending me and all of these things, you've got access to because my PA is working with you as well. So you're now patterning with my team and you've got the same financial help that, well, not financial, but advice on whatever that I've got. Do you get what I'm saying? And on top of that, man's financially helping you and the company because I'm reinvesting my plugged in money, that 15K of it, back into PressPlay. Do you get what I'm saying? When I could just be sitting at home saying, do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm saying I want to be a shareholder. He didn't see no problem with that. Neither did Tango. Neither did their father company, which is, I'm not going to name them.
Then you get to contracts, right? So your lawyer,
Yeah,
their lawyers,
yeah.
you draft things. Do you draft contracts like everything?
Where's my home? I'll show you. Look at this email. Hold on, my little thing. Why is there? And you can read like the top 3 lines.
Yep. Okay. Thank you for sending the information across. In conjunction with PressPlay lawyers, I prepared the attached 2 documents. One deals with how the shareholders will work with each other following your allocation of shares in the company's shareholders agreement.
So just from that alone, like you can see, that's not my lawyer. That's one of father company's lawyers, like in-house team. Do you get me? So for us to even get there, please understand that me and Danny have to have a conversation. Then I've had to go to the office where the father company are, and we've had to reason and have a whole board meeting with all of their people and all of our people, and then get lawyers involved in back and forth. And we're at long form now. So when you start a contract, it starts off short, like deal memo, which is what I call short form. I don't know if the lawyers
It's
call
like
it
a
that.
one sheet.
Yeah, so it's like deal memo is you get this, that. They get this, that in bullet points. Then from there, you have to agree it. Then from there, it goes into long form, but that's where you get legal representation to look over it and make sure you're understanding what's going on. So then, straight after that, if I show you this, the two things here at the bottom, what can you see?
Shareholders agreement.
And then if you click on that, and then you can, is our names on there? Like, can you see my name on there?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see.
And can you see an abbreviation for Danny?
Yeah.
Cool. And then there's 2 other people, right?
Yeah, 2 entities.
Cool. So there's 4 of us involved.
Oh no, sorry. That's 5. Yeah. So in terms of like,
and then there's father company.
Yeah,
Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So there's a contract there that's being written up, man. That's a full contract. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So obviously we had an agreement that's in writing now. So bearing in mind, I was supposed to keep everything, bro. What's actually happened is both parties have got the contract to signature. And then obviously there's one person that needs to green light the whole thing, being Danny. Do you get it? And my lawyer sent loads of chase up emails like, what's going on? And we've been told we're waiting on Danny. And Danny's telling my team and me he's waiting on father company. And he's telling father company Fumez is stalling. So he's telling both teams something different. So we've just stalled. And at that point, that's where I got to blame myself. Because as someone now that's a businessman, it makes sense that the first thing we should have done as soon as he asked for money was me say, we need to have this agreement signed before I send you a penny. The reason why we're even here is because I started sending man money without anything being signed. Or not even sending him money, I started allowing him to keep money because it went straight to him anyway. I never saw the money. It went straight to him and he sent it to me. It could have made more or less, I don't even know. But I've never got any statements. But that's my bad because that's just, it's a schoolboy error on my end. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not even blaming Danny. He took it, like, the situation is the situation. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I was silly. He did whatever he did. There's nothing more to it.
So then you just carry on like working.
At that point, bearing in mind, I don't hate Danny, you know. Danny's little bro. Like, we grew up in the same hood. Like, man kind of big brothered him, not in a belittling way. Like, not like I done bare for him or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, as a little kid, everyone knows he's little Danny. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So, man said to, I've said to him, like, yo, bro, what's going on? And he said, bro, on my life, I'm trying to sort it out. Like, I don't understand. I'm going to get onto them. Just bear with me, bro. Like, let's just keep pushing and working. I'm not thinking anything else of this. Do you know, I only know this story about big father company saying they were waiting on me when everything went tits up. And then I've got a fault. I'm mad now. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I went through a stage where I was genuinely mad. Like, on the last day when I officially knew that the whole relationship was over, I'm mad because I'm like, hold on. Contract never got signed. I never got no dividends. Been there for 2 years. Like, everything in the agreement, nothing happened. The only thing that happened was what I agreed was going to happen on my end. I broke bread. You guys didn't. I've done all of that for nothing. So I phoned father company like, you know what, yeah? Like, I'm mad at this point. Like, yo, like, and they're saying, no, we was waiting on you. Danny said, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like,
what period is the issue with the uploads and the
what issue about that?
the label claiming videos, claiming the content in that time period? Is it after? It must have been in between, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we're in where we're talking about videos, like, and uploads. So obviously we now have a verbal agreement where I give him money, which, you get what I'm saying, was agreed after the original agreement.
That's your own agreement.
Yeah, that's verbal. Like, obviously it's not signed, but we're both just saying, you know what, it's there. So until the other party are ready to move to signature because they're doing bare business stuff, this is what I'm being told. Let's just go off of it for now. It's cool, bro. We know each other. It's love. Yeah, sweet, bro. And then Believe have signed me now. And I've made it so crystal clear at the start. Because bearing in mind, I had agreement with Amuse. They signed me first. Amuse was my first people to sign me. And then I've negotiated out YouTube out of my deal, which at the time was unheard of for the labels. Do you get what I'm saying? I was the first person that kind of introduced those kind of plays. So then where it come to Believe, I've done the same thing. And then I'm negotiating out the YouTube. So what's happened now is certain videos have gone off. And you know labels, like you can speak to the head A&R, but because it's normal procedures for the person that's doing content ID, they're just going to press claim anyway, because it's normal. They're not fully aware of X, Y, and Z. I'm even making excuses for them. And then I've messaged my head A&R, I won't say his name, and then said, yo, like, what's going on? You know what? I don't like even saying stuff without proof, bro. Let me get you the proof. One sec. So this is an email, yeah? Obviously, I had someone working for man, with man at the time, yeah? That was my PA.
Yep.
So you can read that out, because this is after I've got onto them now. Like, yo, you're claiming videos you shouldn't be claiming. There's clearly, we've had this conversation, there's an agreement, what are you doing? So you tell me what that says.
So this says, hi, I hope you... Okay, it says, can you please send us the video links you mentioned yesterday to remove Believe's claims? As discussed, PressPlay should be able to reject their claim when uploading the videos from their end. But if not, just send us the right link. Just send us the link right away and we'll remove them.
Cool. So that's a head A&R saying to me, like, or my PA saying, yo, just send us the video link and we'll remove them. PressPlay should be able to reject them. Man's agreed something, man's got something in writing. There's an understanding, and I've shown this email to Danny. He's seen it. So to see videos online like the label, when you know the label, bro, like you know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, let's not the label and make it seem like I'm this guy, and I don't understand why that's even coming to the fore. Like, man, like we're doing the whole I was hard done by thing, because that's happened, and immediately I've said to you, give me time to fix it. Like, take more money out of the money that I'm giving you already. So instead of giving me what you're giving me, so where you're taking 15, I'm saying take 20 or take 25. A man saying that will take too long. But bearing in mind, there's been minor hiccups along the way where he's been like, yo, bro, I'm going to underpay you a 5 or a 10 here. And then I've just, yeah, cool. But now on the flip side, when I'm saying, bro, this is out of my control, I'm dealing with the label here. You can see the emails. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you read the first 2 lines, this is me emailing them.
It says, following our conversation at your request, I'm emailing about the videos on YouTube claimed via Believe. As agreed on the call, it is well-known knowledge of our agreement to exclude YouTube royalties from PressPlay Media channel.
Man, don't need to fake these things. Like,
Okay.
I'm just not childish enough to just throw it all on the net. It'll just look bad on man anyway. But it got to the point now where it's like, there's so much lies, and I'm a person where I grew up on an era where it's like, man shouldn't need to prove myself to randoms or trolls. Do you get what I'm saying? Or people that just want to ride a bandwagon because they think it's funny and cool. Like, man worked hard to be in the position I'm in. To see other people trying to slander it, I'm a person where, you see, if it was true on my life, it's fine, because I did that. So I've got to own that. I made my bed, I've got to lay in it. And then I've got to try and do what I can to rebrand, make a new version of myself that is better as a person. But where so much has happened, bro, and my life, none of it's true. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I've got receipts. Like, nothing that's been said is actually true, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, where man's been accused of. Like, remember, man said to him, can you take more of the money and give me less every month? Not nothing, just less, so until I can fix this. And a man said to me, no. Bearing in mind, the first deal was I keep everything. Bearing in mind, you're not actually doing anything, bro. Like, I'm not saying you was a waste or nothing. I'm saying, reality, you didn't have to get out of your bed and go nowhere. You didn't, literally, you got a video completed, edited, down to a T, marketing, everything sorted. All you had to do was press upload and schedule the time. You're telling me you couldn't wait a little bit. But then that's fine. You don't have to, bro. You can get upset and that's up to you. I told you I was going to fix it. So that content is my content. And me and Danny stopped talking years ago. He's claimed every penny of that content since. Even if it was making 10K a month. Understand 2 years, that's $250,000, just shy. Danny claimed that I owed him 120K. That's what the label sent in an email of what they've claimed. So now I'm still going through this, by the way, with Believe. I'm still saying to Believe, like, I've had to give Danny that money, and basically to do that, I've said, basically hold on to this money until it reaches a certain amount and then start paying me. I'm sure it's past that certain amount. He's never reached out to pay me at all. So when people are like, oh, Danny said he will never talk to you again, I know he doesn't want to talk to me, because the conversation's going to be, so bro, where we at with this money then? Because I've clearly paid you back, so well gone. Like, forget the royalties and the shareholders, that's all gone. That was never signed. But we had a verbal agreement that you wanted, that I gave to you. So where we at? Obviously he doesn't want to talk. But I don't hold nothing against Danny, because Danny built what he's built as PressPlay, as Street Zone, from the start on his own. And when I say he's been out here on his own, until I bought him a team, and when I say bought, I mean they came with me, he was doing everything on his own, hiring certain cameramen, and then periods would come, they'd go. Like, he literally was out here like a soldier. So I'll never knock him and say you don't deserve to be where you are, or you don't deserve to have the life you have. Bro worked hard. Do you get what I'm saying? I just don't know why the angle, well, I know why, but I just didn't expect the angle to come that he's gone on, where like there's so much slander and he's got so much to say about it. I have nothing bad to say about him. I'm only saying what actually happened. I'm not saying, well, remember this and remember that. I'm not doing any of that, because, bro, like, that's little bro. Like, I don't believe in that. He'll always be little bro no matter what. Like, me and Danny in my head are cool. Do you get what I'm saying? In his head, he might hate me. And I'm like, why? When you deep it, I gave you money or something that I didn't need to. You didn't have the concept signed. I got finessed. Really and truly, I got finessed, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm supposed to own shares in a company that's worth $1 million or millions. I don't. Who got finessed? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even saying, yo, like, I got scammed and all of these things, but I'm shocked that I'm seeing other people say it. Like, how do we get here?
So yeah, so that's obviously what's transpired. Yeah. You end up leaving. So how do you actually end up, like, walking away?
Quam's called me, Mixtape Madness. And he said, yo, I heard you and Daddy fell out. But I just found out right now, so how did you find out? So that means clearly that it was spoken about and put out there before I knew. He's saying, bro, do you want to strike a deal here? I don't have any choices right now. This is something I ain't spoken in a long time, innit? But the reality of it is, people always say like you should ignore it. Ignore the comments, ignore the trolling. And what I'll say about this whole situation, what I've realized here is, people that are influencers or music creators or celebrities, they're not supposed to be in the public eye, human. They're not allowed to get upset at stuff. They're not allowed to let certain things affect them. My brother, seeing my name dragged through the mud on situations where nothing is true, it affects someone. So he's seen rumors from before, and he's gone the same route that he knew was going to affect, man.
I wanted to ask you, bro, the other things that were floating around is about how you ended up even doing your agreements with talent.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's being floated around.
Yeah.
Is it good business? Are you flying straight with it?
Yeah.
How did you actually go about your business when you're working with talent?
The plugged-in contracts were either exclusive buyouts or 50-50 agreements. For 50-50, it was just simply 50-50. For exclusive buyouts, how we got to that price was we'd look at an accumulation of songs and an average, and then we'd get a number for your average amount. Like for your top 5 songs, an average might be 2 million streams, and then we'd pay you what 2 million streams is worth, in principle. For some artists like Skepta, where I wouldn't have been able to afford a Skepta plugged in, but he's really wanted to do it at the time. So he's literally negotiated a price that he's happy to take that's reasonable for a company like Plugged In to pay. And that's how that came across. He wanted to do it for the culture. We negotiated to the point where we were both like, yeah, this is cool, it's reasonable, fair, let's go with this. Both parties are happy, both parties sign the contracts, voila, you get your Plugged In. So what people don't see is the plugged-ins that got 1 million streams. They all see the plugged-ins that got 20, 30 and 100 million streams and think that, raw, so Fumez has 900,000 of those and no one's been paid. Funny thing, my biggest streaming song, A92 Plugged In, I've never made £1 from. So when you look at it, that's bad business on my end again, so I can hold my hands up and say I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, I'm human. Do you get it? But I did not make a penny. Not them, they made money. Me that didn't make money. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, but that deal enabled me to now have the platform that I have, because that was the first cash injection that I ever had that helped change my life, change the studio, that built this studio. So man's just reinvested immediately. And it came at a time where I was out of my other studio and they didn't want to renew the lease. So I needed to move. So it came at a perfect time where I needed to reinvest and make stuff happen. So, yeah, bro.
How do you deal with like whenever artists or rappers say the business is a bit janky? Like, there's one thing where there's rumors when it goes public from other artists.
I've never had it from an artist that I've worked with. So what I'm doing here is it's like, how many artists have been on Plugged In? Like, let's say 100. Not one artist where Plugged In has come out has said anything. Like, think about it. Like, forget the noise, the hype, and the smoke that everyone blows. Think about it. What artist that done a Plugged In has said anything? Like, I can wait on that one for a long time. Like, I can sit all day and say, let me know. Because you didn't hear it. Do you get what I'm saying? You had a rapper that didn't want to jump on the show say, oh, Fumez, you don't want to pay me this and that. A man wanted to do like, I think he wanted to do like a 10-minute song, dissing his ops on a solo. Not as a group, solo. There's like two versions and he's just dissing his ops for 10 minutes straight. And he's saying this will be the longest dissing in Plugged In history. But at the time, I've looked at it and I said, bro, I'm not sure the audience want to hear 10 minutes of this. So can we just do one, which is 5 minutes instead of 2 for 10? And he said, nah. But the way he said nah is like, he's really feeling himself. So he's come with some mad attitude. Nah, fuck that. It's got to be done the way I want to do it. I'm a fucking bad boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? To his point where his brethren looked at me and said, Fumez, he's kind of like, do you get me? So at that point, I felt slightly disrespected. So I've said like, you know what, cool. We'll film it. See how it goes. And as it's gone on, the attitude's just got worse and worse. So then I've just let him know straight away, it's not coming out. Because I just don't want to work with you no more. And I feel like if I built a platform and I feel like, am I not allowed to do that? Do you get it? So, and then from there he's gone online and he said, right, it's all a scam anyway. My buddy, no one, how did you get scammed? What happened? What actually happened? Did I put the song up? No. Did I even mix it? No. Is the video ready? No. Did I use the lyrics? No. Where's the scam? With the past situation, he's spoken on what he's heard. Once we've actually had a conversation and we've actually worked, we've done contracts, paperwork, everything's above board. I've worked with all the artists on his roster at this current moment, I think. I've been on his TikTok and all of these things. We've been cool, we've done promo. He offered to do not an apology, but basically a yeah, we're cool kind of video that's basically damage control for what he done in the past, so a high respect to him. He's an amazing artist, he's doing his thing. He spoke on something that someone else told him, and from there it's like, the game is just the game.
Okay, so we're now going back to. It seems like we're just having to clear a lot of things up.
Yeah, because I just never said anything at the start, man. I just didn't believe in I needed to address everything. Like, I know everyone will say it's late, but bro, like, you see when everything's stone cold, just lies. I just feel like, bro, like, who's actually believing this?
Yeah, it's crazy to hear all of that, bro. But you see your journey, and I think, you know, you started off as working in youth centers and working with like young people. I think a lot of the things you've done, bro, like even engineering it in itself is actually to help people sound good, to pursue their dreams, right?
Yeah.
You've come from a situation like I remember, like when you got your mama car, you posted it on social.
Yeah.
Is there any, like, even though like you said you want to show the positive things to inspire, and we'll go more into the positive. Do you think those type of things when you're showing it was like making people feel like actually like they're starting to hate the success that you're doing?
Like I really believe like on the internet, people will see you come up and support you so hard, and then as soon as you feel like they feel like in their interpretation you've made it, it becomes a thing of, okay, now let's see what he does. And it's like naturally from let's see what he does, it quickly becomes, yeah, like it's not making sense anymore. They look for the next underdog to start supporting. And then you become the guy that made it. And then from there, they start trying to find chinks in the armor, drag people down. I think Young Ad said something similar. Do you get what I'm saying? On one of these songs. And I feel like a lot of rappers have experienced the same thing. So then they start looking for reasons to try and drag you back down. I feel like it's kind of normal. But at the same time, you can do stuff to prevent it. Like, I didn't need to post me buying my mum a car. I didn't need to post me buying myself a car or anything. I didn't need to post me buying myself any jewels or anything like that. But you see, when I came up, I was broke.
How bad was it? How broke?
Like, I used to eat spaghetti hoops in a tin. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the microwave, that was dinner. Sometimes it was lunch as well. Like, on the weekends, if I didn't go to school and get, like, canteen and that, it was that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, maybe 2-3 times a day. And then if there was nothing in the yard, it was just sleep for dinner. Like, it was, do you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, my parents done the best they could. And I'm grateful for the life that they managed to provide me with. And I managed to make something of it in the end. I wouldn't change it. But because I was really down, I'm looking at it saying, why can't I show these things? Like, I really came up from nothing. So I'm not showing them to say I'm better than you or whatever. I'm showing them to say, bro, like, do you remember what I was posting all these years ago? Like, I was posting in a Ford Fiesta. Like, there's a process, bro. I trusted the process and I made it happen. And I said that from the start. I wanted to be an engineer producer that is able to live like how the rappers would live without being center stage. I wanted to provide a different route and say you don't have to rap. Do you get what I'm saying? Because now there's so many other options. You can even be an A&R and make millions. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm like, you don't have to rap, because a lot of people feel like sell drugs, kickball, or rap. You can find other lanes like that will work for you. Get in your bag, elevate, grow, and then teach as well and help people. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it all can work out in different areas. You need to, don't think so small, but there's more to life than the hood and the ends and the ghetto and that life.